asked if we wanted a coffee.
Very chatty.
Yeah, of course they are.
Said no thank you. But I didn't realise they have to buy their big issues.
They do.
So if they don't sell them, they're not allowed, I mean, whether they can like tell them that, I don't know.
Oh, I found a leaflet. It's old, but I found it about Llanfylin. I must have got it when we moved in.
Oh right.
So you can have it.
Okay.
Well, we haven't been this way at all, so this is all new to us.
No, nor have we in 7 years.
No, we haven't been there either, where you are.
Right.
And Llanfylin does actually look quite a nice little town, to be honest.
There's some lovely shops for the, like the path on High Street.
Which was shut actually. I mean,
Yeah,
Monday
the
seemed to
roads
be
are Sunday.
Monday seemed to be their shut day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although one did say it was closed till the Wednesday.
They used to years ago. They used to be Wednesday, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, it was where I lived.
It was everywhere, wasn't it?
Everywhere.
Ours was such
Wednesday
a
was
half-day
Wednesday
closing.
and Saturdays.
Yeah.
I mean, Staveley on a Saturday is like a ghost town. There's only about 2 or 3 shops open. I mean, obviously there's a supermarket, Morrison's.
Oh, in my paper, by the way, I told you, didn't I, yesterday? If the Conservatives get in, they reckon they're going to give money to some deprived towns, and Johnfield and Newtown are 2 of them
Oh, right.
on the list.
It's all a bit daft.
I don't.
I wouldn't necessarily call Drumfield a deprived town.
Well,
so
no,
that's,
because we'll have a marginal Conservative MP.
yeah.
All of the money has gone to
Yeah.
seats with marginal Conservative MPs. The whole lot.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That's a very cynical view.
It's true.
It's true.
No, it's
It's
true.
true.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
I believe it. I believe it.
That's what they did last time.
All right.
Yeah, the Conservatives have a track record here. I'm not saying that Labour would do anything different, but and part of the problem is that this is a scheme to replace EU money that's lost.
What the farmers do
Right.
their hay off.
The EU obviously allocated it on a very entirely rational basis,
How old's Paul?
and that wasn't enough of the Conservatives. They just wanted to deal with the Conservative
He's,
seats.
6 years
So
younger,
that's what's
so
happened,
we've
and
got
there isn't as much
next
money
year.
as
I'm
the EU
68
used to
now,
provide.
6 years younger.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it's all the usual
Yeah.
disaster that Brexit has
I
been.
wouldn't put him on the going for
There you go.
My
son voted for Brexit, so I'm quite excommunicated him from the family. The neighbours voted for Brexit as well because they thought it was better for farmers, but of course they now know that it's a great deal worse for farmers than it was before. Because thanks to Boris, the British beef industry has been ruined, and the sheep industry will die in about 10 years' time completely. There'll be no sheep at all. Because the Moses government decided to desperate effort to do a trade deal with New Zealand. I'd allow New Zealand lamb to come in much more cheaply than British lamb.
All right.
Much of the problem with Brexit is that the Conservatives made such a mess of implementing it. If they could go down the most harmful route possible, that's what they did.
I always got the impression that they put Brexit forward, not expecting it to.
They did. David
come in.
David Cameron saw this as a way of getting rid of the loony right of his party, and it didn't work. It completely backfired. And people like Boris Johnson saw it as a way of making themselves Prime Minister, in which of course he succeeded, and had so disinterested in it was it that he did 2 separate articles, Johnson. One in favour of staying and one in favour of leaving, and they were both equally argued. But in the end, Johnson's own political desires overcame him, and he went to leave. Turned out for him to be the right decision, except of course, as a Prime Minister he was completely hopeless.
Well, I was young, and then he got this girlfriend, he went to
Because he's just lazy.
and she lived in Jersey. And
I will say that for Rishi Sunak, he is at least a hard
but she
worker.
had 2 children.
So what engine is this? This is a petrol engine then. What size engine is it?
It's a 1.4.
Really?
And she said, oh, this is no good at Vyrnwy.
And do you have to put something in called AdBlue?
No.
No.
It's not diesel.
Oh, I didn't.
AdBlue is
It's only for diesels, is it?
it's urea.
Yes.
It's made from piss. I know
Yeah,
this
I
because-
thought that.
It is, yeah. I only know this because the former, my deputy in the LGO advice team came from a company who used to rent trucks. And so he knew all about trucks, and our trips to York every week would tell me all about it. So there you go. Well, so that's why you have AdBlue. It reduces
When
the
I
emissions.
worked for Royal Mail on the asset accounting, I remember AdBlue was a big thing with the trucks.
Yeah,
I remember it being an additive, a fuel additive. Oh, so I thought it was a fuel additive, but apparently, from what I've read, it's sort of, you fill it into a tank and it drips into your exhaust system. That's my understanding. I might be wrong.
It reduces the emissions. I don't know how or why, but it does. That's what it does.
So I got a shot. They say we picked the car up on the Saturday morning, and within hours we had to put some fuel in it. Open the fuel cap, and there's two things to fill.
I must admit, I didn't know that diesel, because I used to drive diesels, but ended up migrating to petrol. And I didn't know that you used AdBlue with them. But I suppose because the manufacturers have got to get the emissions down, that's the only way they can do it.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do with the diesel.
So my car is it's deemed to be Euro 6 compliant.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's what everybody says. I just got to let it go.
Well, whatever it is, I said to
Everybody
them,
says, why didn't
what
you
does
have
that
this
mean? And they
through?
said it means you can drive into city centres, and it's something compliant anyway, to do with emissions.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Well, she said,
So I said, I said after that, you can't come and live with me, Edward.
well, Paul's customer, she said
No, the UK car market, it will be more like Cuba in 10 years' time.
The what, sorry?
It'll be more like Cuba in 10 years' time.
All right.
Keep on like this because old petrol cars will go up in value because they're available.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
They don't have batteries in. It's exceptionally difficult to.
She's got this other lad, and he gets on well with Paul. They're like brothers.
It's exceptionally difficult now to buy a pure petrol car.
Yeah, I know they're not,
She knows loads of people. When Paul first went there, she said, I'll have him if he gets on well with my other client. I've had him for years. And it was a chap with Down syndrome.
Oh, right.
But they got on alright, but he died.
Well, we moved to petrol when we had the motorhome.
Yeah.
We changed our car and we got a petrol car. We got the Yeti. It was a 1.2 petrol engine.
She's had an invite to go to
Because I just got the impression, I don't know whether you remember,
She's fundraising for him. She's
couple of-
fundraising.
probably even a couple of decades back, if you drove a 4x4, you were sort of made to feel guilty about all the Earth's ills, glaciers melting and polar bears becoming impotent, and all sorts of things were down to 4x4. And I got the impression that
When we got married, she said, "You might
diesel
well
drivers were being demonised in the same way.
Smashed it.
So we got a petrol engine,
I mean, Steve,
and then when we got rid of the motorhome, we decided to go back to caravanning again. Of course, the 1.2 Yeti didn't have a lot of pulling power, so we went back to diesels again. But we haven't actually towed with this yet, the new one. I'll find out in a week or two what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to bring it down the lane, I can always block the lane for you. No one will mind.
Yeah.
We just do what Julie does when she drives sheep up it. Just station someone at either end of the lane and let nobody down. Easy.
And he's happy now.
It means you can't meet anything because there'll be nothing on the lane.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not, you know.
The children find it hard because they would have had it if he'd been normal. And of course, I'm an only child. You see.
That's with a lot of, you know, a lot of families, you know.
Yeah. At least she's taken him to Scotland. She's taken this is the second time he's been to Benidorm. And she's taken him to Cornwall. They've been loads of places. Absolutely loads.
So does he have somebody, the two of them live there now?
Yeah, with her, in their house.
Yeah.
She was a mentally trained a nurse, and she got fed up of doing all the shifts. She said, I might as well do it in my own home, and you know, do it like that. And so her husband helps her as well, though he's got a part-time job in the
You can feel the regenerative braking when I take the
yeah,
foot
they do
off.
everything together.
You can feel the car slowing down, and that's the regenerative braking bit kicking in.
Right.
She said she'll have him to the end. She said.
So I take my foot off now and you can feel it slowing down. That's not the brakes, that's the regenerative braking.
Yeah.
Well, her brother was physically very
So that energy isn't lost.
Yeah.
He was in a wheelchair. He had an operation.
It's quite
the
clever.
operation had gone
Yeah.
right.
I just can't see this car being on the road in 7 or 8 years' time.
No.
I think it would have gone. I think all of the current generation of electric cars will be dead, scrapped in 7 or 8 years' time, which from the manufacturer's point of view is great, because they like making new cars and they don't much care for old cars.
He was
Because it won't be.
He was old,
But
but-
the mechanics of this are incredibly complicated.
I can imagine.
So I can't see that it being cost effective to repair it in 7 or 8 years' time, and the battery would have gone in 8 years anyway.
With my old
Yeah, it would be very
Sportage, we found a really good mechanic, just a one-man band, just works on his own, and really, really good, reasonably priced, no newish stuff. But when I meant, well, we took the car, the old one, back because my daughter were having it, and it needed servicing, so I said, well, I'll pay for the service, you know. Took it back on the service, and he was saying, I think he must be coming up to retirement, probably in his 50s or whatever, and he said, I just don't touch him. He said, I don't know anything about him. He says, I can't afford all the he says, I'd have to go on a training course to know what to do. He says, so I'm afraid, he says, I don't touch him.
And they've got one grandchild, she's 5 now, she's lovely.
Well then, like you say, there's enough of the old cars on the road still that to keep him in business.
And she was £1, 5 ounces when she was born, and they thought they didn't know if she'd be survive or if she'd have learning difficulties, but she seems to be all right. She's very like a little fairy. She's very delicate looking. The miracle she survived. They've only got that one grandchild. So. Oh, it's a stupid pheasant in the middle of the road.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Thick.
yeah, I know.
We call it the pheasant because we've got. Whoa, go buy a lottery ticket. Did you see the black
gone?
card?
Yeah.
No, we'll have to buy one.
Yeah, to go and buy a lottery. We call the pheasant Boris because he struts around self-importantly,
Yeah,
desperate to breed and doesn't achieve anything.
He's been coming for years, but we haven't seen him lately. And then I said to Steve, going down the lane, there was a female, 2 females this year, but I haven't seen Boris.
Maybe he's busy.
He's planning his next move.
It's very pretty.
Well, Boris, yes, he is, unquestionably. He's on manoeuvres again. But I think the problem he's got is that he's not going to want to be the leader of the opposition for 4 years if that's what happens.
No.
Because he'll just get bored. And he won't be able to earn all the money he needs to earn to service his
Oh, yeah, I
children.
don't know what to wear.
So he will be a bit
Barn
stuck.
dance.
Oh, right.
They're getting married. Well, not a barn dance, it's in the barn.
whoever comes to her wedding will be stopping for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is in one room
Yeah.
because but it's part
There's a lot of trouble with the fencing,
bar.
isn't there?
Sorry?
There's a lot of trouble with this white fencing, isn't there?
Yeah.
Won't do the service in a room with a bar.
Oh, I see.
So there's a sliding wall. So the wall will be closed. I'll be reopened after the what?
Right, are we going to visitor centre, folks?
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Oh, here we are. This is the dam, isn't it?
The hotel is up for sale for 7.5 million. Yeah, and they've got a chapel, and people get married in this chapel. My father, as Welshman, got very upset about this because they flooded a village to do this dam, and people had to get out of their homes.
Yeah, they did.
And this little girl, she was a little girl, they interviewed her on TV. She said she can still remember it.
The cycle race is coming through here. I thought I'd checked and confirmed it. Didn't.
Yeah, there's a cycle race on today.
Oh, right.
Women's.
I don't know whether this is the same then, Jane, because near us, when the water levels, you know, in sort of, you know, drought times, you can still see the roofs and the steeples and...
all the buildings.
Yeah, it's like this. When we had a drought, the village came alive again. You could see it. It's hard for people that have had to give up their homes, though.
Yeah, if it's still within their lifetime, sort of thing.
That's staff parking.
Right, so I assume we're going down there, aren't we?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So that's got something else on your tick list.
Yeah, well, this lady told me about it. Funny, she lives in Stanton, where Stuart is, and her and her husband have got a holiday cottage, 2-bed,
So is it
behind the pub.
gone on to electric now then, are we?
Yeah, we're in
Behind
Italy,
the
mate.
pub, and he's just died. But he was 80.
Oh, he said. Yeah, he said it.
I think she must be keeping it. I don't know, we haven't heard. She's not going to sort of say, is she? Her daughter drove her down. They came last weekend.
The thing is, the daughter will be getting